Welcome back, everybody. It's Jeff again with J&K Stay in Vegas with another episode of Moving Mondays. This time we're in zip code 89113. It almost comes up just about where we were last time at 89147. But this zip code goes to Tropicana Avenue. And if you remember our last video, if you watched that, it went up to Flamingo, actually around Flamingo and that kind of area around Summerlin. And this area is in the southwest as well, since it goes right up by Tropicana. And familiarity, we are on Durango again. And I wanted to come by and do at least these first two episodes with these zip codes right next to each other, so you can kind of get an idea of the whole kind of southwest, that is south of Red Rock, and give you an idea of, again, what average home these days, what it looks like, and yeah, give you a little tour around 89113. Now, don't you worry, if you've been talking about Henderson or Green Valley, those videos are coming up on the southeast side of town. So we invite you to subscribe to our channel to catch those videos, not to mention all the videos we've got on our channel, including our Vegas Tea Time. So without further ado, we're going to head up here on Durango. And I will point out right next to us is Rhodes Ranch. This is a huge, huge gated community. Unfortunately, even though it's a gated community, it's sometimes not the best neighborhood. There's a lot of things that seem to go on in this neighborhood. Don't know why, because it's a really nice neighborhood. And you'll see these cars that are going to be coming from the left. And this is one of the entrances. The other one is on the west side of the property. But both of these little entrances, there's one that comes up from the north to the south, and at 5:30 at night, when everybody's getting home, these literally back up down the street. So your commute home may take another 20 or 30 minutes while it lets everybody through the different gates. There is a guard there as well, but there is a spot for people to go that are home residents that can just click right on through. But like I said, all the way down here, you can see on the left side of the screen, all the cars will just back all the way up. And it happens on both sides. And it creates quite the traffic jam. And it's not cute. It could, again, and especially if you're talking about a busy time of the year, say everybody's out and about for Thanksgiving, Christmas, or the holidays, it is really, really busy. So if you live in that neighborhood, you may be waiting another 20 or 30 minutes just to get into your neighborhood. So yeah, that's one of the little things that I'll pass along to you, me having the real estate knowledge and just the locals perspective of just things that go on here in town and things that I see over the last 12 plus years living here in Las Vegas. And right up ahead here, this is Warm Springs. So we're at the intersection of Warm Springs and Durango. We've got a Smith's here on the right-hand side, a Home Goods, TJ Maxx. Across the way is a CVS, and over here is a Walgreens. And that's kind of typical. It's wherever you see a CVS, there's probably a Walgreens right around the corner, and vice versa. And as we go down Durango here, you're going to notice that we're going to come right by Durango Hotel and Casino. And that's obviously our newest casino, and they're trying to make it a locals casino. They've got a lot of happy hour things going on at the George. Currently recording on the weekend on a Saturday afternoon. This is very, very busy traffic-wise. This area has grown so much. If you hear anything about Vegas and, kind of the expansion and where everybody wants to move, it's this area right here, the southwest. And there's still affordability down here. I will take you by a little bit later where they're building a brand new Costco. We have 4 or 5 in town I was looking at. And yeah, it's it's going to be a good addition to this area for the folks that live down here in the southwest of having a Costco, because you got to drive pretty far to find another Costco. And as you can see, there's always construction around here, and you can probably barely see out the side, the Durango coming into view. Off to our right is like an EOS Fitness. There's another Starbucks, a whole bunch of chain fast foods, and just little stores, and you know, like tanning salons and 7-Elevens, things like that. So even though this area has grown exponentially over the last few years, it's still growing even more. You can see this lot open right over here. Obviously, that's going to be something. This building up here on our right-hand side is the Uncommons. We'll be doing a walk with Jeff on this whole area, so don't you fret about that. We're going to make sure and get a walk so you can see what's over here. And there's another new place that's right across the freeway as well that I will show you in just a moment. And if we went west, that will take us up where we were on 89147 up by Flamingo and Red Rock. IKEA is just off to our left-hand side. That opened in 2014, and surprisingly enough, we have never been there because there's nothing that we really need from IKEA at this point, and I really don't need to build any furniture these days. So, but yeah, stop there for the pancakes and Swedish meatballs. Over here on the left-hand side will be part of that new walk with Jeff. This is the Bend. It is a brand new area, shopping area. They're still adding a whole bunch of new stores, restaurants, so still growing, but look forward to that. And that walk with Jeff will be coming up. And a lot of the area here has, again, expanded with a lot of apartments, some townhomes. They are, again, trying to build more townhomes because affordability is you know, a little bit out there for most folks. Median price of a home here in Las Vegas is $485,000. That was the same as it was February. Now you're recording this in April. Well, the official numbers don't come out from the LVR until about the 9th of the next month. So obviously they got to compile all the sales and everything from the previous month. That's why I'm quoting something that's in March. So before you think that I'm not giving you the most up-to-date information, that's why. So a little bit later, that reminds me, we will be taking you by a home that is in that range. My goal on these Moving Mondays is not only to give you an idea of what is in these neighborhoods, even just the basic necessities like stores, groceries, even hospitals if I, you know, come across them, you know, and just kind of give you an idea of what's around. So if you go like, hey, you know what, I've heard of the Southwest in Vegas, but don't really know what it looks like or anything, that's what these videos are for. And plus also to give you an idea what about the median home looks like here in Vegas. I could go show you $3 million homes, but the majority of people can't afford those. And in this day and age, things are way expensive. So my goal is to show you things that maybe most people can afford. And especially with interest rates that are still a little high in the low 6s, you're still going to pay, you know, upwards of $2,700, $2,800 a month for that median home. And of course, you could refinance later once rates hopefully come back down. There was talk at the end of, towards the end of last year, that rates would be coming down for a variety of reasons, but now it does not seem like they're going to, unfortunately. So we don't know when that will happen. They have what's called a FORMAC meeting every quarterly to decide what they're going to do with interest rates. And they at most will move like about 1/4%, sometimes 0.5%, but that's kind of rare. It just depends on what the economy's doing and everything like that. But there are ways that we can get around that because like I was telling you in the last video, we're turning on Tropicana right now. This is the edge of our 89113. As I was telling you before, new home builds are an option because they have their own lending programs through their own like D.R. Horton has their own lending, and then they give you a bonus for using their lender, and they'll give you a lower interest rate or maybe an introductory interest rate. So there's a lot of those possibilities that you can still do and still afford, with homes here in Vegas. As you pass by on the right-hand side here, you see all these trees, beautiful neighborhood. This is called Spanish Trails. Spanish Trails is almost one of the oldest communities here in town. And if you can kind of picture it, this was way out in the valley, so to speak. Think of Hill Valley in Back to the Future, so to speak. But this was the ritzy neighborhood in the middle of nowhere. And that is not the case anymore. It is, they have actually pretty affordable homes. Now, a lot of them, again, are very 80s and 90s if they haven't been updated. That's why you can find some rare finds. If you know how to fix a home, there might be a lot of ones that are dated. Maybe an elderly couple lived there for years and never updated it. And you can find some ones, believe it or not, for around $500,000. That's a possibility. This is, you'll see here, this is their east gate here. It's guard gated. It's absolutely beautiful and stunning. But there are homes in there that go all the way up into the millions. So with huge properties and the like. And you can see how far down this extends. Now here's kind of the quirkiness of Vegas. We're coming down here to Rainbow. We just passed Buffalo, and Buffalo goes that way, north, but it goes south. But right here where Spanish Trails is, it stops. That guy decided he wasn't going to wait for this person staying in the right lane, so he decided to go around. Which, that's kind of an annoyance thing, is people sit in the right lane, they go straight. Anywho, I digress. But yeah, Buffalo back there is a street that goes north and south. And I was telling you before, as we sit here at the light at Rainbow, Rainbow is kind of our middle of the valley, big thoroughfare road. It does go completely north and south. There is no breaks in it. There's a lot of the major streets, like I said, like Buffalo, that break up because there's happens to be a huge community in the middle of it. But then they continue it on the other side, and that's where I'm going to show you. So technically, this part of Rainbow is not in our 89113, but that's okay. We're going to flip around, and we're going to get back to Buffalo as we go around Spanish Trails. But I kind of want to take you this way anyway, because it's a good way to kind of see how big Spanish Trails is here. Also, we love our Vegas history here in Vegas. So this is a little bit of history. Right here, speaking of roads that go all the way through, this is Hosienda. Let me point out real quick. Spring Valley Hospital is over to our left here. That's one of the hospitals in town. Right here, we're turning westbound on Hosienda. And for our Vegas history nerds, Hosienda was where the Mandalay Bay is right now. And so, again, I've told you this in the past, you have a lot of the streets here in town that are named after hotels. Tropicana's no more, but Hosienda no more as well. And this is still named Hosienda. This happens to be one of those roads that does kind of start and stop, but this section, if we were to go make a U-turn, would take us all the way to Mandalay Bay and right by Allegiant Stadium. We may do a drive over there at some point in our series. But you can see off to the right here, this is all Spanish Trails. So it is a huge, like 2-block wide, and I don't know, maybe at least a mile or two from east to west. So yeah, it is a very big neighborhood. But again, there is some affordability in there. You just got to find it. And there are, I believe, a few townhomes in there as well. Again, I was saying earlier, they are really trying to make more townhomes in town because those are a little bit more affordable, like in the $350,000 to $400,000 range. So here we go. We're going to pick up here on Buffalo. And this is where we can continue back down into the southwest along our 89113. A lot of track homes in here. These have an okay yard, and I say okay because there's actually a yard. There's, believe it or not, some homes here in Vegas where you literally open your sliding glass door and it's like a strip of concrete that looks like a little sidewalk, and that's literally your backyard. Or your backyard is actually the side of somebody else's house. Yeah, not good. So when I say these are decent sized backyards, as you look off to the left, they are. They actually have 25, 30 feet by 25 by 30 feet. So yeah, not bad. But these homes in here will be in the mid 5s now. Before they were in the mid 3s. So over here is Russell. Russell here, we have down to our right is our post office for 89113. And as you can see on the left, they're building even more homes. And again, on these Moving Monday series, I will be actually taking you inside of these new homes and showing you what they look like, how many square feet they are, the floor plans. And again, these videos may not be for everybody, but even if you're not moving to Vegas, it might be for the curious, you know, just to kind of see what a home is like. Look at this one off to the right here. It's a triple story. So these are multi-gen family homes. A lot of the Asian community like these homes because a lot of the families, you know, grandparents will even live with the families, and they typically will have their own part of the home. This guy decides he's not going to stop. And so even though that's a lot of stairs in a 3-story home, there is a market for those type of homes. I've done an open house before, one of the 3-story homes, and a lot of times the kitchen is on the 2nd floor. It's definitely made for somebody that's actually looking for that kind of situation, because that would get tiring after a while. IGT right across on our right hand side is where a lot of those slot machines come from. That's their warehouse right over here. Coming up here is Sunset. This goes all the way down to Las Vegas Boulevard as well. If you were to take this straight down, you would eventually go by Harry Reid International Airport, and that would take you again right down past the airport, all the way into Green Valley, and all the way over into deep into Henderson. This road is kind of like the east-west version of Rainbow, and it wasn't always like that. It actually ended to our, well, as you're looking to the left-hand side, it ended a couple streets down, and that's the only issue with Vegas, and it's becoming better now because they're making roads go through. But there were a lot of roads that would end, and there is another one down the southwest that literally has maybe about a block's worth of dirt in between the both parts that are, you know, where houses are. But that last part is not completed, and that becomes a little bit of a pain. So Sunset was like this in the past. It is now a road that goes all the way through. Sunset does end at the other side of Fort Apache because there's literally a mountain there. So that's understandable. So over here, this big dirt pile over here to the left-hand side is going to be the new Costco for the Southwest residents down here. It is very much needed down in this part of the valley, and you can see the sign right there. Everybody's getting excited. Costco Wholesale right here. They just got the approval a few weeks ago for like the, you know, where they level off the dirt, and then they got the next one to actually start building. So they expect to only be about a year before that one is open, and that'll be very welcomed in this part of the valley, because the closest one right now is where I showed you on a walk with Jeff up by Red Rock Casino, and that's about, for anybody living in this area, about 8 or 9 miles. So it's quite the distance. So when this one opens here in the Southwest, and as much as this area has grown, it is going to be absolutely slammed. We got a VA administration right over here on the right, and we're coming up again on Warm Springs as we came down Durango on the other side. So basically 89113, except for a couple little exceptions. all over the valley, they have these zip codes where they literally include like a little square little notch. Don't ask me. It's too long to explain. But for the most part, it's kind of a rectangle, and I'll show you again on the map what that looks like. So come down here, you might have heard of Fuku Burger. Got a location right over here on the right-hand side. Little South Buffalo Springs Animal Hospital for all your puppy needs. This area over here to the left is pretty well established. It is called Nevada Trails, and it's a pretty big community of, you know, all sorts of different size of homes. Very nice area. Again, very well established with parks and all that. And see off to the right side, see how the road is curving here? Well, that's because there is literally a piece of dirt land here, which I'm sure over the next few years is going to get built up as well. The quirky thing about Vegas, if I didn't mention it before, the quirky thing about Vegas is that it is the responsibility of the landowner who's going to be building the, say, homes or business to establish the road that's going by it and the sidewalk infrastructure. So that's why the city is, if they have a new housing community, that particular housing community is going to build the roads, and then when the next dirt area comes, you have to go around it. Those type of situations don't happen as much. In fact, where we're going here on Buffalo, it used to be like about 1 lane. Now it's 2 on each side. All these new homes on the left and the right are all new. In fact, these ones on the left are all those triple story ones that we saw earlier. You can see over there, barely probably see it off as I just passed it, but if you rewind it a second, a lot of these triple stories do a rooftop patio. So that's kind of an advantage. In the summer, not so much. You definitely wouldn't want to be on a 4th floor roof during the summertime, but it is. See, there's another one off to the left here. They got patio chairs up there. You can put umbrellas. I guess that would be good. But in the spring and fall, it'd be absolutely beautiful. And our little quirkiness, we've got a few of these in town. Our UK residents might recognize these things called roundabouts. In Vegas here, we have no idea how to handle them. And so everybody just kind of makes their own rules, goes around them however they so well please. And this is the first of 2 down Buffalo. There are some more in the Summerlin area as well. We're going to get over here because we're going to show you what a median home here in the valley is going to cost. Everybody, so I promised you that I would show you a median home, and I thought it would come in this new community right here off Agate. Like I said, here is Lennon Lane. More about that. And over here is this house right over here. I gotta find it now. I think it's right towards the end here. Yep. This one right here. This one right here is a new home. Not new, but really, really new. I'm gonna turn around here so you can get a really good look at it. This is Lennon Avenue over here off Agate in the 89113. And is this home right here. And it is $499,000. It's about 1,500 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. And it's got this nice new style. But yeah, this is about just a little bit touch over median, $499,000. And it looks like they got a little bit of a yard back there. Across the way here is some townhomes. So you can tell that these are attached walls. There are garages in the back. So these are a nice affordable option as well. A little bit lower in price because they are more considered townhomes. But I want to show you a little bit around here. Speaking of Lennon Avenue, all my Beatles fans out there, this would be kind of cool. So go down this way first. This street over here, Sir Paul Street. Tell these got the garages over here. As we come around, we'll see the garages on that side, back side of here. And here, Together Avenue. Come together, maybe. There's those garages from this side. And Rocky Raccoon Street. Wind blows all the trash cans. Sometimes your trash can is in your neighbor's yard or halfway down the street. Rubber Soul Street. Doesn't get any much more Beatles than that. And yeah, I just thought this was kind of cool little community. So we'll go back out here to Buffalo, make a right here, and we'll come around to our last bit of the edge of 89113, because there are some significant stores and all that. And this Blue Diamond Road is a very, very busy road. Over here on the left, Albertsons. They even have a Planet Fitness over here. This area has grown quite a bit. Some fast foods over here like Burger King and whatnot. But this road, if you were to take it all the way going east towards those mountains, that's Pahrump out there. Over the hump in Pahrump, about 45 minutes from here, about an hour from the Strip. This is kind of the quirkiness of Las Vegas streets, and a little frustrating part, especially if you're learning to get around the valley. So this is all new homes on the right-hand side. Great, great, okay. And we come to Agate again. First things first, if you look straight ahead, I'll zoom when I make this edit. The extension of that road is right over there, right across this ravine. So you could get through. Down the way, they've actually made it go through like on Valley View, but this still is not. So eventually this will go through. And if we were to go down Agate here, even better example, you just saw how we were looking at those homes. We're literally to a dirt patch here, and that's the only thing separating us between here and there. In fact, dirt road, that's it. If I were to go any further in my car, it would not be pleasant. So yeah, end of road, and that road will eventually go through. So everybody, hope you've enjoyed this look around 89113. If you did, please give me a big old thumbs up. Let me know down below if you like these Moving Mondays, even if you're not moving to Vegas. Hey, if you were curious at all, hey, somebody's recliner out there. And you like these videos, please let me know in the comments below. It'd really help me out for these Moving Mondays, these new video series. We'd really appreciate the feedback. And of course, make my usual little sales plug. If you want to move out here to Vegas, you know who to call. I got 5 stars on Google. Or if you're in Vegas already and you want to move to a different home, I got you covered. All right, everybody, thumbs up, subscribe to J&K Stay in Vegas for your most comprehensive look at Vegas, from Moving Mondays to live streams on Saturday nights to staycations. We got so much content. We invite you again to subscribe and be a part of the J&K community. All right, everybody, until the next one, stay safe and stay silly. Bye-bye, everybody.